A few weekends ago, my friend Jeff came to visit. You may remember Jeff from my video on Viking funerals where we lit a tiny Viking longship filled with cremated remains on fire. Like you do. He owns a funeral home in Seattle called Elemental, and it's very similar to my funeral home Undertaking LA, in that we're small, independent, offer green burials and home funerals, and it's really nice to have him as a friend because there are like 8 of us in the United States who own funeral homes like this. It is a small social club.
For now.
We talked about the future of the funeral industry nonstop for 72 hours. I know that some of you are interested in what we do and maybe even considering it, so here are a few things that we have learned from several years of running these funeral homes. First is that home funeral can mean so many different things. I think sometimes people are turned off or intimidated by the idea of home funerals because they think it has to involve the dead body being at home for 3 days and washed and dressed and ceremonies and rituals. That's not true. You can have a home funeral without doing any of that. Many of our families just want what Jeff called a delayed removal, which is the perfect term, simply delaying the funeral home picking up the body. The family wants to know that after mom dies, they can keep her at home for 3 hours, 6 hours, 10 hours, and the funeral home isn't going to bother them. They're not going to sweep in and try and take the body away. Before the death occurs, we try to give the family information about how to handle the dead body, empower them to do it themselves, and say, give us a call when you're ready. Go get 'em, family. Second, the internet is not the enemy of funeral homes, especially when it comes to the required paperwork. If dad has just died of cancer in Santa Monica, which is all the way across town from our office in East Hollywood, we give the family the option to come in and sign the paperwork or to do it by email or electronic signing. If your dad just died, maybe you don't want to haul yourself across town in traffic just to sign some paperwork with me watching you, especially if you know that we're available to answer questions at any time. Neither Jeff nor I are trying to upsell the family on any services or merchandise. We don't even offer embalming or a long list of expensive caskets. So we don't need to get the families in the door to sell them something. And admit it, you like doing stuff online. Especially you, introverts, I see you. Third is that running a mortuary is more paperwork than it is corpses. Many people have this idea that we're doing this romantic work, washing the dead body and presenting it to the family, draped in white gauze, and there are harps playing. We do get to do that sometimes. I mean, we've never had a harp, but we get to go to green burials and stand graveside as the family shovels dirt into the grave. We get to watch the body be loaded into the cremation machine, a son weeping over his father's body. It's intense and moving, but most of our day is spent doing paperwork. Death is a bureaucratic shit show, especially in larger cities. Yay! Finally, what is the future of the death industry? Here's what Jeff and I think. It may just be having the funeral director do the things that they are licensed to do. What do we really need a funeral director for? Things like filing the death certificate, transporting the body, especially in large cities, cremating the body. What do we not necessarily need a funeral director for? Selling you memory tribute videos, or a cremated remains necklace, or holding a wake or memorial. A brief list of people who can probably do those things better than a funeral home. Memory tribute video. Your 18-year-old nephew who's going to college for video production. Cremated remains keepsake necklace. Your cool artist friend. The wake. Your family in your own house. The memorial. A nice hotel, a restaurant, a boat, whatever was meaningful to the person. In-N-Out Burger became famous in California for selling like 4 things on their menu, but doing them all really well. Being a jack of all trades, like the modern full-service funeral home, can often mean being the master of none. Be the funeral director that the family actually needs. I know that I said that I don't get angry anymore when sassy funeral directors leave comments about me, and that is true. But somebody sent me this comment that a funeral director left on my video telling low-income families how to make sure they get the simplest, least expensive cremation.
She's a licensed funeral director who apparently hates her own profession. This is why so many consumers think we're all crooks.
Really? Really? Girl, people loved the funeral industry until I came along and filled their head with lies. No, probably not. Historically, people have felt taken advantage of by the funeral industry because they feel sold to. They feel like they're being pushed into products and services that they don't need. Let's figure out what the family really does need and help them achieve that. What do you think the future of the funeral industry is going to look like? If you had to bet money, where do you think culture is going? I can't tell you how helpful it is to have such a huge group of people to get this feedback and conversation with. I read every single one of your comments every time, I promise. Brought to you with support from People's Memorial Association and the Co-op Funeral Home, and donations from viewers like you. Green Burial out.